Okay, going live, going live. What's the latency like? What is the latency like? It's, what, 3 seconds since I clapped? 5? Okay, the stream's looking a little bit slow, but we're going live. And hopefully no one's watching yet until I post these links. Post there. Post there. And one more link to Discord. Okay, no, that's not what I want. One more link to Discord, please. Now going on to the Discord channel. And pop that into Discord. There we go. Okay, now sign out of Discord, because we're going to need all the bandwidth possible for this. Okay, let's check desktop sounds. Okay, everything's running. Everything is running. Okay. Right. Close the Book of Faces, where links have just been posted. Okay. Have we got any viewers? Anyone that can tell me whether we're running from the... can't see much going on the live stream preview here. It doesn't seem to be moving. No. Got 2 concurrent viewers. Can anyone type anything? Let me know if the stream is running, because I'm not getting a visual on that. Lost one of those viewers straight away. Steve Mingo just dropped in to say hi. Hiya, Steve. Steve, can you see me? Can you see me moving about? Moving around like a Simracing rave junkie. If things aren't moving and I'm not animated, it means the stream is not working. But I'm getting a reply. I don't know why I'm not getting... 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, Steve, can see and hear me? Hello, Steve. I hope you're doing all right. I hope your leg's good. And it's healing up nicely. And, of course, we all hope we'll be back jamming at some point soon. So, for anyone that doesn't know what's going on, I'm doing a live stream, guys. I'm doing a live stream. I'm setting up my own server, which I'll have full control of. My own racing server. I can choose tracks and cars. And I've invited a load of people on Discord and on Facebook to come and race with me on the fantastic Automobilista 2 by Reza Studios, who are about to drop a massive update to the game. And we are going to be racing live with real people. No AI, real people. So what I'm going to do now is get Automobilista 2 started up, get this server going, invite some people in, and see if we can fill an Automobilista server 2 server. Now, if you're going to want to find the server, all you're going to need to do is look for my name in the multiplayer server list. If you're just watching, just chat away in the chat on YouTube. But if you want to get involved and actually come and race, then it'll be TARMAC Terrorist. That's all you have to do. So I'm setting up the server now. So what I'm going to do is jump over here to my live stream, and I'm going to minimize a couple of windows here so you can actually see what I'm doing. Got my little logo in the corner there, and then there's me, and there's far too much of me, so I'm going to pop myself down here in the corner so you'll be able to see me, but I'll be much smaller, kind of like this. There we go. Okay, so this is the multiplayer session. Now I've got to make limited slots, as in I can't have too many clients, too many drivers, because I'm streaming live from one computer, and I'm also running the server from one computer, and I'm in Norfolk, so internet bandwidth is limited, so I'm probably only going to have about 10 to 15 slots available, so get in whilst you can. So we'll go to host settings and we'll type in the name of the server so people can come in to the server or multiplayer list and find it. There we go. That's all you've got to look for is Tarmac Terrorist. We'll save that. I think we'll start out with exactly what we've got here. We've got GT4s at Kansai in Japan, also known as Suzuka. We'll have, let's see, I think we'll go for 10 lap races. Okay. So if you're watching at the moment, you want to come and have some fun, come and join us. I'm going to have 2 weather slots. One is going to be random. So what that means is we're going to start out clear and sunny, and the second slot of the race, which is going to be synced to the race, we're going to have whatever weather the game decides to throw at us. So let's just make sure all of the settings are correct. It's going to be full pro this, so there's going to be damage on, mechanical failures, and everyone's going to be in cockpit view, so we're all on the same page. Okay, rules and regulations. We've got 3 cut warnings for a drive-through, and let's set qualifying to 20 minutes to give people a chance to join. Now, I need a maximum grid size of, let's see now, how many. I tried this earlier with, there was about 6 people on, the bandwidth still was pretty okay, so let's try that with a maximum of 12 drivers, which is not a lot, but definitely a grid that we can fill. Quite nervous about this. Oh, thank you, Steve. Steve has said coming through, sounds good, video smooth, fabulous graphics. Thank you, Steve, mate. Do you like the car? This is what I'm going to go out in. It's a McLaren 750S. And I'm going to keep that in grey because I like blue and orange, but there isn't a blue and orange car apart from this one, but it's not the kind of blue and orange I like. But that grey and yellow and white looks good on this car, so I'm going to keep that. So, very nervous about this. We're only going to be running qualifying and race sessions. We'll set the qualifying to actually a little bit longer. Set that to 25 minutes. So people have got about 20 minutes to join. In the last 5 minutes, I think about the last 3 minutes, then you can't join the qualifying. So you need to get in there before sort of 22 minutes is up, really. Peter Stern, return of the Mac. Hello, mate. Peter Stern's here. Good choice of colour. Thank you, Steve. And let's start the server. And immediately, let's invite some people. So what I'm doing here is I'm using my Steam account to invite anyone that's on Steam at the moment. Whilst I'm waiting for people to turn up, we may get no one. So it's all hanging in the balance here, folks. I need to get... Oh, hello. I think... Is that a Steam notification? I've just I don't know if it was or not. I've just got to sort out something in Steam here. There we go. Okay, I'll just do that invite again because my Steam account wasn't actually in the right mode. So we'll try that again. Or was that Discord still open? No, it wasn't. So, let's do that invite again. There we go, 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 there we go. Done. Right, so whilst that's going on, I'm going to quickly open up Discord. Discord is kind of a chat channel, if you don't know. And I've invited a few people through there. And I'm going to have to keep that closed. Because I don't want to use up bandwidth. But I'm when we actually start racing. But for the moment, what I do want to do is post a link to everyone for the YouTube stream, so people can jump in and watch that. So the server in you're looking for in AMS2, Automobilista 2, is TARMAC Terrorist. TARMAC Terrorist. So let's jump back out of Discord, close that down. And now what we have to do is wait for drivers to turn up. Now this is the internet, so God knows what could happen. There might be no one on it yet, but I've run this server a couple of times, and it's taken probably about 20 minutes for the server to start filling up. So we may have a bit of a wait time, so just keep checking in here. Are we still running up there? Let's have a look at our stream health. Stream is good. Stream is good. Concurrent viewers 3. And give me just one moment. Right, so I haven't checked the multiplayer list on Automobilista 2 to see how many drivers are out there at the moment in other servers. So I don't actually know how many people are on. But whilst we're waiting, let's just talk a little bit about Automobilista 2. I've got to remember to look at the camera down here because I'm looking at the screen, but you guys can see me from down there. When I start driving, I will be looking at the screen, and it's going to be going to be tough because I'll be driving a simulated race car, looking up here, and then trying to look up here at me chat screen to see if anyone's talking to me. So obviously there'll be moments where I can't talk, like if I'm next to a car at high speed or cornering, that sort of thing. But Automobilista 2 has been getting better and better ever since it came out, and Reza Studios have been constantly refining what's going on with this title in terms of physics, tyres, AI, content, tracks, and I think I get the feeling they've got a lot of really good stuff going, because it uses the Madness engine, and the Madness engine is a... Oh, hello! Before I go on, right, I've just got someone talking to me on Steam. It uses the Madness engine, which is... It's got a few problems, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's got a lot of potential, I think, in it, in terms of what it can do with weather, damage, that sort of thing. But Project Cars 2 was what used the it was the original sim that used the Madness engine, and in terms of physics, things like that, it didn't go too well. But Automobilista 2, Reza Studios have been able to get the best bits out of this game engine, and have really improved things like physics, tyre wear. They've made it a proper sim. It's still got its problems. I'm not saying it hasn't, but what's going on with it is pretty fantastic. So, I think if I actually start this server... Anyone watching at the moment, by the way, who's thinking, what's going on? There's a guy just talking, nothing's going on. There will be soon, hopefully. Like I said, this could all go wrong. This could all go completely wrong. My internet could go down or something like that. I'm thinking if I get us into a qualifying session here, so people in the multiplayer list can see that there's a qualifying session running, rather than just lobby, they may start joining in. So, let's just have a little bit of a tour around this track. So let's jump into the actual sim. So we're going to get in the car now. Now this is, I've got auto pit lane switched on. Usually you wouldn't be able to drive, the car is driving itself out of the pit lane. That's just so that people that join, if they forget to turn their pit limiters on, won't get disqualified when they race out of the pits. This does it automatically for you. It's just to keep things simple. But now I will have control back again in my hands. Steve is saying he's going to drop out. I'll catch you later, Steve. Thanks for dropping in, mate. Right, so first of all, need to kind of edit my seat position a bit here. And I want to get the HUD up here and add in a virtual mirror, because I've got limited peripheral vision on this screen, and I want to be able to see who's behind me. So, because I do have a mirror in this car, as you can see, and you can see that on your screens, but on my screens the YouTube window is actually blocking it. In fact, if I move that YouTube window down here a bit, I can actually see my real mirror, and then I won't actually need the virtual one, so we'll turn those back off again. There we go. Okay, so let's save that. Mr. Stern! Mr. Stern has joined the server. So, as you can see from the screen there, up in the top left-hand corner, we've got a Pete in here. That is Mr. Peter Stern. And Pete is a great sim racing friend of mine. He's been part of the inspiration for the main inspiration for this channel. Between us, we sort of run servers. In fact, Pete's running the dedicated server for when we were running the potato server, which was an R-Factor 2 server. And he runs that from Cambridge. Now here it comes. We've got lots of people. We've got lots of people joining. Let's just pop back to the pits and start saying hello to people. We got Papia Bernardo. Hi. Say hello to him. Let him know we're live on YouTube. So yeah, if you are coming into the server, you know, might want to just be careful if you're driving. Show a good example, because you are live on YouTube. And well, Pete looks like he's joined, and also then has gone straight out again. I think that he might have had a computer problem, because I know Pete's got a few problems with his PC crashing at the moment, especially with this title. Well, with a few titles, I don't know. We don't quite know why that is. But whilst we're waiting for more people to join, and I'm going to need to adjust my seat. There we go, that's better. So this is Suzuka. So first of all, we've got this down. We got down the main straight, down to these two right-handers, kind of a double apex corner there. And then we've got a left-right chicane. And there's a good couple of these. Left-right chicanes. If you look at my dashboard, you'll see we're doing 92 kilometers per hour over here. You'll see that we're doing 56, and that is in miles per hour. So that's my miles per hour readout. It also shows you what gear I'm in. For anyone who does sim racing, ignore this bit because you know all this. This is just for the benefit of people who don't know all of this. So we've got the long sweeping left-hander, then we come up to kind of a third gear, fourth gear, couple of corners. This tight one here you can do in second, or if you brave third. If you're an alien, maybe even more than that. Aliens are really fast drivers. And then we have this tight, very, very tight second gear hairpin, which I just took very badly there. Pete's back in. He's just joined. So we've got this long sweeping right-hander. Sandy Lucio has just joined. Welcome, Sandy. So we come down here. By the way, for anyone that doesn't know this yet, if you look over here, there's a big skid pad there you can go drifting on. If you're just offline and using this track for a muckabout. So we got the long, sort of again, kind of a double apex left-hander. And then we come down what I'll call the back straight for the moment. I did used to know all of the names and corners on this track, but I've completely forgotten because I'm so terribly unprofessional. And then you've got this corner, which can be taken in fifth gear, nearly flat out. And then you've got this netting there. We've got someone else has just joined. Two more people just joined. And then we have this last uber tight chicane before we come down to the main straight. You can see the huge Ferris wheel there, and there we are down to the main straight. Okay, so that's a little tour of the track. Let's park up here and return the car virtually to the pits so we can say hello to people. So I'll just by the way, happy holidays to everyone. I hope you've got something cool planned for the new year. Me and my friend Goski, we're going to meet up on YouTube and well, on Facebook, and have, because we're all socially distanced, locked in our houses. Jan Calivoda says hi, gonna connect in an hour as CM. Okay, mate, cool. So this is great. We're actually getting people joining. So right, as people are joining, if you'll give me just 2 minutes, I need to go and just sort something out off camera. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. So professional, right? Okay, back again. Still going, we're still live. Got 5 people in here, 4 people. It's going to go up and down, I'm sure, for a while. Let's go out and set a lap time. People are doing 2:32s from Papia there. And completely ignore my lap time there because I wasn't really trying. So these are, what I'm driving here is a McLaren, and these are GT4 cars rather than GT3, which you've probably heard of. Everyone's heard of GT3. God, that's loud in my headphones. GT4s are like GT3 cars. They have things like traction control, ABS, and they're very powerful, but not as powerful as GT3s. And also, they don't use as much aerodynamics. So, you know, they're not slow, but they're not as fast as GT3s, so they're not too fast. And because of the lack of really serious aerodynamics, they're a lot of fun because, you know, they'll jump about a little bit, and they're great for this track. This track is quite a long track, Suzuka or Kansai. You've got a mixture of really tight corners, long sweeping corners, off-camber corners, bank corners, on-camber, long straights, so you can let the legs run free on these cars. And you've got some very high speed corners, which are, well, basically top speed corners, but still enough of a corner that, you know, you can't go completely flat out. There is a limit to how much power you can put down, so you can get right on the edge on those corners, and you've got a reasonable amount of elevation change around this track. As I said earlier, I have set for the race, we've got 2 weather slots. The first half of the race, nice and sunny. Second half of the race, it's going to be whatever weather the game decides to throw at us, because I've set the second weather slot to random, so it'll be a bit of a surprise. It might just stay sunny, it might get foggy, it might rain, who knows. Obviously, whatever happens will affect the track conditions. And in terms of track conditions with this sim, it has live track technology, so basically if you go off track onto the grass or dirt here and come back on track, you might bring a bit of that with you onto the track, which obviously is going to affect the grippiness of the tarmac. So you can see that, and you can feel it, and you can hear it. If you, I've noticed this is quite cool. If you drive over a patch of tarmac where someone's left the track and come back on with some dirt on their wheels, you can kind of hear the wheels picking up on that, and I can really feel those serrated curbs under the wheels that you can hear. I'm feeling it through the wheel here. And Reza have said in their December development update that they're going to be doing more with the weather, with the random weather slots. They're going to be making them more acclimatized to weather conditions in whatever part of the world that track is situated at. So if you're in a very hot and dry place where it doesn't rain very much, then with your random weather spot you're less likely to get rain, and more likely to, say, if you live in a place of high humidity, you know, get fog, that sort of thing, and heat, and so on and so on. Five people with us so far. I'd like to just give a shout out to the Reza devs here. They've done an awful lot of hard work. I know they've been working really hard even over the holidays. And also, I have to just say, this taking quite a bit of flack on certain sim racing websites for, you know, they've come out and they've done updates. They're releasing certain bits of content for free to everyone, constantly updating the game, and at some websites they just get a lot of flack for this. Reza guys, don't lose heart, because the majority of us absolutely love the work you're doing, and if anyone wants to point out flaws and criticise, that's fine, and why not, because we all want sims to get better. But I can't think of one sim or program that doesn't have any problems, bugs or anything like that. And what I like about Reza is they listen to their customer base and their public, and they're very, very passionate about what they do, and they will get things solved pretty quickly. And at the same time, in a controversial move, which I think is actually very clever and very brave, they have decided that as well as the free content, which is free for anyone who's bought the game to use, the downloadable paid content, so things like, say, the Nuremberg pack or any cars that come out for the game that have to be paid for, they've decided that if you've got that track, obviously if you've bought it, you can use it in any game mode you fancy, whether it's offline, online, or in championship mode. But what they've done, and I think this is an effort to keep the multiplayer community galvanised and not separated, is if you own that track and you run a server, anyone can join that server and race on that track whether they have it or not. And with cars, I think they're doing a similar sort of thing. So basically, if you jump into a server which has got cars that you don't have, it doesn't mean that you then can't join that server because you don't have that car. All it means is you can see those cars being raced by other people. They'll be on track with you, but you can't drive them. You can only drive them if you have those cars, which is brilliant, because then it means there is no fragmentation of the user base. Anyone can jump in and race with any car. If they don't own that car and there's other cars on the circuit that they do own, they can race those. Also with the circuits, players are not getting the paid content for free. They're just able to join it and race on it if you're running it on your server. Once they come offline, they can't use it, apart from maybe in championship mode, but that means maybe going through about 8 different race sessions in a car that you may not want to drive. It might just not be your thing. Say it's a Formula V10 or one of the prototypes, and you're not interested in those, and it's a track that you'd really like to try a road car out, like the Camaro, or possibly one of the COCKPIT. But you can't do that in Championship. You can't run a free race with specific settings to yourself. To do that, you'd have to own the track. And what I think is going to happen is that's going to mean that people who don't own these tracks can still jump into all the online multiplayer sessions, race on these tracks, and then when that server's closed down, if they're offline, they can't race there anymore. And if they can't afford to buy a track at that time, but they really like it, they'll think, I really like that track, and as soon as they have got some money, they'll go out and buy it so they can use it any time they like. So I think it's just going to actually give people the chance to try tracks out and then buy them later. Or if they have got the money, they're going to go on someone's server, try out the track, go, I like that track, I want that for my offline sessions, and I want to run my own server, because of course you can't run your own server with a track that you don't own, so they will buy it, which is going to give reasonable profit for themselves, which they deserve, and also more money to put back into the simulation. And they're ever such a passionate company, they really are, doing something like that. It's a very brave move and very clever, I think. And I'm indebted to Reza for introducing me to so many tracks that I didn't know. I know this track, but there are a lot of South American and Brazilian tracks, because they are a Brazilian company, that are in this game that are not in any other sim, and I didn't realise what the motorsport scene was like in Brazil. It's amazing, and they've got some fantastic tracks, absolutely fantastic. And I've fallen in love with places like Velocita, Velo Park, COCKPIT and Ibarra, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Oh, stayed in 4th gear for that corner. And it makes me want to visit Brazil, to be honest with you. You know, that and the weather. So we've got 5 people in the server at the moment. But we haven't seen anyone. I'm currently running in 3rd position. I don't know how I'm doing that because I've been talking whilst I've been driving. I'm not really concentrating. Maybe I'll try and get a decent lap in. But if you're watching this and you've got Automobilista 2, come and join the server. There are 5 slots already full. There are 6 more slots, so we should have 11. I think, was it 11 or 12 of us get on track. So there's 5 or 6 more slots left. Come and jump in before the server fills up. It's 20 minutes of qualifying, and then we go straight to a 10-lap race with unpredictable weather, or at least for the second half of the race. We've got an F. Hansen in here at the moment. Any relation to that music group, Hansen? Right in, use all of the curb here. If you do join the server, what I will be doing every time the qualifying and race session is completed, so we've completed a qualifying and a race, I will be asking people after we go back into the lobby after a race, if they want to stay with the same car and the same track, or if they'd like to move to something else, which would be fun. We can try out different race series, different cars, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, 4-wheel drives, maybe different tracks. Pop over to the UK, go to Alton Park maybe, go back to Brazil, go to Velocita. Skip over to Germany, go to Hockenheim, one of my favourite tracks. Oh! Came in a bit too hot there. And back end stepped out a little bit under lift off and braking. This car is quite nice and lively. And there again, yeah. But remember to be not quite so heavy on those brakes and cornering. This does seem to have... Well, let's see, where is the brake bias set? Oh, it is quite set far forward there, 6139. That's how much braking force it uses on the rear wheels and front wheels. Obviously, the more the brake bias is set towards the front, the more the car's going to just sort of go straight on under braking. The more it's set to the rear, the more you can use. If you imagine, if you had 2 handbrakes on the car, one for the front wheels and one for the back, you know what happens when you pull the handbrake on a car if you're travelling and your back end swings round. If you had one on the front as well, then that wouldn't happen. So the further you set the brake bias towards the rear, the more the back end will steer round or come round on the braking. So we've got Pete in here. We've got Tus, who I recognised from earlier because I did a little test, see if this server would run whilst the stream was running. And he was in here earlier. Now I'm working here with about a 16 to 18 megabyte upload and download speed. So I'm limited, but which is why I've limited the garage slots. There's someone there. Who's that? That's Pete. That is Pete in the McLaren there. Oh, car's looking a bit dinged up there, mate. Pete has... I want to get off the racetrack, so... Is there someone coming around? There he is. Car looking pretty dinged up there. Obviously he's had some contact, hopefully not with another car, possibly with a track boundary. Just follow him into the pits. So we have got damage on this server, and that is the end of qualifying. So I'm going to ask Pete what happened to his car through the chat window within the game. And then we're gonna be going for our race. Hey Pete, what happened? I've got some messages, people leaving the session who actually aren't in the session here. Looks like they've had a look in the lobby. So they haven't actually loaded into the track yet. They've come into the lobby of the game, and Pete can't get on with the game. That's why he's crashed. We're going for the first race then with at least 4 of us, 5 of us if Pete stays in. I'll just ask him. We're all getting ready. We're all clicking our ready buttons. This is going to be the first race of hopefully a few today. And we're all ready to go. Lights, they're going green. And we're off. And I think that is Pete behind me there in the McLaren. Yes, it is. Now you might have noticed that the sun's a little bit lower in the sky. And that is because the racing session is set to start at around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, whereas the qualifying session we were just in was set to start at about 2, so close to midday. So obviously the sun's a bit lower. Time does progress in real time, or sped up, whatever you've got it set to. I've got it set to real time in this simulation, as I completely fluff up my gearing there. I set it to about 5 o'clock because it's just a wonderful time of the evening. You get this wonderful... someone's had a bit of an off there. I think we've got round them safely. If you see this little green arrow at the bottom of the screen there, that was just telling me that there's a car behind me, because without having a full 3-screen setup, I can't see all around my peripheral vision and out the side window of the car as you would in real life. You can run this simulation with all of those screens, or VR. I do have VR, but I'm not using VR at the moment because it's hard to type and talk to you people whilst I'm making a video or streaming. Back end, really use that back end slide in this car a little bit on understeer or through the corners. Someone else has gone a bit wide there at the corner behind us at Spoon Corner. Wonder if that was Pete or... well, let's see. I think that might have been Souza. I can't quite... ZSO Souza. Pete's, I think, in 4th position, so he is behind me. Right, let's try and concentrate on the driving. Absolutely beautiful sunset going on here at Kansai. Beautiful game, I have to say. The graphics in this game are absolutely fantastic. And that was what was great about Project Cars 2, the graphics. Unfortunately, coming in hot there. The force feedback and physics weren't quite up to the task. But what Reezer have done with the force feedback and physics in in Automobilista 2 here using the same engine is just wonderful, and then it's married with these awesome graphics. I'm going to try and keep an eye on the chat, so if you're watching on YouTube, you want to say hi, you can say hi in the chat window. But obviously if I'm at high speed going around a corner or next to another car, then, you know, I won't be able to look and reply immediately, but I'll keep an eye on it. Looking hard for the hairpin there. Tuss and F. Hansen flying away there in first and second. Can we catch up with them? Beautiful corona of sun coming off of those sun rays there. And oh, helicopter in the sky there. One of the nice little extras about this game. Right, fifth gear. Cutting the corner slightly, drifting to the outside, using the curb, which can unsettle the car, so you've got to be careful. Going a little bit way too deep, rather, into the first corner of the chicane there. But we are keeping with Tuss and Hansen. Right. Now, this, oh, there we go. I've hit the green netting there, which has got a lot less grip than a tarmac. Kick me back end out. Now we've got a lot of work to do to try and catch up with these two guys in front there. Might bring my brake bias slightly forward, even though it is quite far forward already. So far everything going alright with bandwidth and internet. No cars jumping about like crazy on the track, so pings are good whilst also streaming. My puny little internet connection here in Norfolk. If you are stuck indoors, locked in because of COVID-19 and you've got a PC and a steering wheel, then get on Steam, because at the moment you can pick this program, this software up for a very, very low price, because of course the winter sale is on, and that doesn't just go for this game as well. I could talk about all the computer games you can pick up, but I'm just going to talk about racing simulations, because that is my thing. Literally bought my PC for racing simulations, even though I do other stuff on it. But there are great ones out there. You've got Automobilista 2. Of course, you've got the first one as well, Automobilista, which is based on the ISI G-Motor 2 engine, which was used by R Factor 2, which was made by ISI. We now have, R Factor 1. We now have R Factor 2. It's another great simulation. In fact, it's the little cousin of a program called R Factor 2, R Factor Pro, which you can't buy because that's the one the racing teams use for their simulations. Of course, the real racing teams use these simulations to learn tracks, practice, test out different physics with their cars. You've got Assetto Corsa, which is by, and I've gone wide whilst it's hard trying to talk and race at the same time. Assetto Corsa is made by Kunos, and that is a game which you can pick up. There's plenty of base content for you. You can pick up the whole game for next to nothing on Steam at the moment. But once you've got through all of the base content, of which there is many, it's a bit like Automobilista Touring, which has got many different styles of race series. There are then tons of mods for it. So there's tons of tracks available and cars that don't come with the original game. There's also a fantastic mod called Content Manager, which comes with some custom shaders which make the graphics just look superb, and Soul as well. You've got Assetto Corsa Competizione, which is also Kunos Studios. That is their GT3 sim, which also has these GT4 cars in it, and this track, I believe. That is fantastic. Got a great multiplayer base, and that's just had a physics update as well on the tyre model. It's brilliant. But there are loads of them. I mean, if you want to go back quite far, there's one that's still being updated today. It's over 15 years old. Live for Speed. Fantastic, very popular amongst drifters. You've got Demolition Derby type games or simulations like Wreckfest. Fantastic. I hope to do a video of that soon. But this particular one here, Automobilista, I'm really just loving it. It's coming on leaps and bounds. You know, the tyres are really starting to feel great at the edge of grip. The force feedback is getting more and more detailed. There's more and more stuff that you can adjust and customize to your liking. For instance, you can set your force feedback to be as strong or as light as you like, but they're expanding on that in that there's going to be your general custom your force feedback setting overall for the game, but also they're going to include a new feature soon, which will be a custom force feedback car specific strength multiplier. So you can set the overall force feedback for the game you want, and then you can also adjust that per car. So if you think the steering's a little bit too heavy or a little bit too light in one car compared to another, and you can't quite get the balance right between the two with your general force feedback strength, you can then adjust it individually. Also, there is a function in this game called Real Weather, which is not working at the moment yet, but it will be. And what that does is basically it will, if you go to any track within the game, anywhere in the world, where that track is situated. Of course, these tracks are painstakingly modelled on the real tracks that they're based on. Quite a few of them laser scanned. It will check the weathercast at that area of the world, at that specific location, and when you get to the track, the weather will be doing what the weather in that part of the world is doing at that moment. If you choose to use that rather than using preset weather like you want it, you can still tell it you want it to have whatever weather you choose, you know, to be sunny or clear or whatever. But you will at some point be able to use whatever weather is going on there, so that's an amazing feature. How are we doing? 6 laps in out of 10. I'm currently well behind. Pete's pitted. I haven't been keeping an eye. I don't know how long he's been in the pits, so he might just be having a tyre change. Well, I shouldn't imagine a tyre change. Maybe if he's come off and damaged something, which is what I'm very likely to do because I keep coming off. I said I was going to do a video stream. I didn't say my driving was going to be fantastic. Pete's left, so obviously he's had a bit of a prang, or, you know, he's just got a bit tired. Oh, we've got someone else has left as well. So it's just me and Hansen left. I'm hoping for the next set of qualifying we'll attract some more people. And Peter's just come into the live chat on YouTube and has told me that he smashed the car up. So that's why Pete's left. Whereabouts on the track did that happen, mate? Did you hit a wall, or? And I cut that nice and just slide out to the outside curb. Could have gone a bit faster through there. Pete's just said everywhere. He hit everything. Oh, bad luck, mate. Less of the right foot. It's usually you that's more consistent than me, you know, when we're having these races. I'm usually the one that crashes out. So we're 7 laps in, so we're into the second weather slot, and which was random weather, and it has stayed sunny. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next time round. Oh! Back end just stepped out of that. I keep going off out that corner. Nearly completely outbraking myself there. Another thing I like about this game is the actual colour palette. Colour palette's very nice. You know, this is quite pastel. It's a bit, it's kind of Ed Hopper. You know, you get into something like a Assetto Corsa Composizione that has more of a kind of a Seurat kind of palette to it. Factor 2, not quite sure where that sits. Maybe a bit of a Jasper Johns thing going on with that. Did not mean to change down to 4th there. I have a feeling of that transition between the tarmac and that serrated curve as I came onto it there. It was absolutely lovely. If anyone needs to know my force feedback settings, do feel free to ask. I'm currently running at 25% gain because I've got quite a powerful wheel here with the FANATEC Clubsport that I'm using, so I don't need too much gain. I've got 0 effects, not needed because I'm getting enough through the force feedback. 0 damping and 0 Memi spring strength. Really liking this streaming malarkey. Right, I'll stop talking, try and concentrate with this corner because I keep start talking when I get to that corner, and look, I've got it right for once. Way. Yeah, it's great, this live streaming thing, because you can, especially in this COVID lockdown when you can't go out and do anything, you can stay in, game away, and occasionally someone will pop in for a chat. And also everyone can see you gaming, so you know they can come and join you in the game if they sort of see it through your YouTube channel. And this game, like a lot of the racing, so this you can devote absolutely hours. There's so much in these racing sims these days. So many tracks, so many cars, so many different combinations. Sprint races, 24-hour races. Yes, they happen. Endurance races, 4-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. You know, one day you could race at one track in one car with so many cars on track. Maybe race the AI. Another day you could do it on multiplayer with real people. You could do a race there in said car and said track at night, during the day, with the time at normal, or do an hour's race when 24 hours goes past in 1 hour. You could do it in the rain, and you can then do all of those combinations all over again with another car, another, you know, then you can change the track. It's just a whole world to explore. And I talked about the live track technology earlier, so grip levels will change around the track as more rubber goes down on the track, if dirt gets brought onto the track from cars having an excursion. Temperature of the track will affect performance of your tyres, all that sort of thing. And you might go off every now and then and ruin a very expensive McLaren, as I'm doing. I'm driving terribly here. Just hit the cone that's just gone rolling off down the road there. Right, last couple of laps. Come on, Paul. Sort it out, boy. Looking forward to later on tonight, because I was running servers just, you know, without streaming last night, and a lot of people come online in the evening and getting nice full servers, which is good fun. I think what I shall do also is possibly take the number of laps of a race down. So there's not quite as long races, so there's more chance for people to join in the qualifying session in between. Either that or just use a shorter track so that the laps are over quicker. Obviously no one can join. You can join as a spectator at the moment. That's another nice thing about this platform. You can join the race as a spectator. So if you want to get into a server and you're going, oh, they've got 4 laps to go, you can still jump into that server and wait for the session to restart that you can join in with if you've missed the race. But you can watch the cars going around, you know, the drivers on track whilst you're waiting, which is pretty cool. Last lap. Sun's gone down quite a bit. Over the course of what is now, I'm not quite sure in terms of time. As you can see, we're getting less rays from the sun, which means it's getting even lower. And it's dark enough now that, look, my headlights are having an effect on the road there. Can you see that? Right, Pete's got an ACC server running, which is a set of Corsa Composizioni. Not for this video, mate, because this is advertised as Automobilista 2. So that's where everyone's directed to come. But we are definitely doing an ACC version as well very soon. I've already got people interested in that, so we will be using that, Pete. And there we go. That is race complete. Mind you, there's no reason if I finish this video or this stream that we can't do ACC later on. It's just that this might knacker me out. So right, let's return to the lobby. Right, so where to next? We've got someone called Zamel in here. Let's ask him what he wants to drive. He's the first person in for this session. We're going to start, so let's ask him what he wants. And let's quickly have a look at the stream health whilst he's deciding there. Still doing well. Pete's typing to me. Pete, what do you mean? You've typed something I really don't understand there. Oh, I see. I think I understand what you're trying to say. So we've got someone in here. He's not telling us what he wants to race. Let's have a look here. Has anyone on watching on YouTube got any ideas? Pete's just telling me the race is over. Yes, I know, mate. I'm the race director. We've got all sorts in here. We've got prototypes. Oh, now. The McLaren, sorry, the MCR S2000. This car is actually a British car. And it's actually built in Wales. Pete's, is that Pete? Is he back in the race? Yes, it is. I think it is. Hello, Pete, again. Pete's now in the server. Let's ask Pete when he wants to race. By the way, if you can hear any piano in the background, I'm not sure if you can pick that up. That's my brother playing piano downstairs. He's an excellent jazz musician. Look out for a band called Kong Fusion. Kong Fusion. That's what it's his band. Ickle Mike! Got a guy called Ickle Mike, John, who's watched the stream before. Tell him it's nice to see him. Ickle Mike's replying on YouTube whilst he's in the game as well. I'll just ask him if he has any requests. Ah, now we've got Slimsy Meat has joined as well. Don't know if I've run into this guy before. No one's making any requests on track yet. Let's see what we've got in here. Brands Hatch. I know Pete likes Brands Hatch. Or Donington Park. Donington Park might be fun. Keith Tanton's joined. Hello, Keith. See if they're all happy with the combination of car and track. See what people say. Whilst I'm waiting for them to type. Oh, we've got lots of people joining. I do keep a guitar handy next to the computer just for moments like this, when I'm waiting for people to reply or loading a track or whatever. Pete says he's never happy. That's a lie. Stop watching EastEnders then. Don't think Pete wants to use East. I hope he doesn't. Well, let's see if we all want to start. We've got several people in here now. Happy to start, everyone, are we? So, we've got 3 votes to start. Oh, this is getting good. We've got 8 people now. 8 drivers. And they're all voting to start. I love this car, and I've been talking to Pete. I've been saying to Pete for quite a while, well, since last time I spoke to him just before Christmas, that I really wanted to do a race at Donington. I was going to set that up in R Factor 2. But we're in Automobilista 2 now, so we'll do it in this, with this well, good combination. British car, British track, in a Brazilian sim, or Brazilian made sim. This car's fantastic, about 150 mile an hour top speed, around there, somewhere like that. Very light indeed. You could probably pick one of these up from the front end quite easily. Not a huge engine, 4-cylinder, 230 brake horsepower in this, and a 6-speed sequential. And I've just realised that I've not mapped my sequential shifter. And I'd like to use my sequential shifter, but I don't think it's going to work. So I might have to go with flappy paddles for gear changes. Okay. Just let everyone know we are live on YouTube. There we go. The other thing I like about this car is that it's got no left-hand mirror, no left-hand wing mirror like we have over here. It's just got a kind of off-centre, slightly to the left centre mirror. I like that. I saw some text flash up there. I don't know what was being said. This car is a lot noisier than the McLaren GT4 we were driving. Engine's right behind me and not sealed in its own bay, of course, because it's an open cab, open cockpit, so very loud in my phone heads, headphones, phone heads. Phone heads are a drum and bass band. Just completely off topic there. We got Ickle Mike. Let's flash him with my lights. There we go. Let's Get the chicane right. Use all the curves, but oh! I've been disconnected from my own multiplayer session. That's not good news. That means the stream may have gone down. Let's check. Are we still live? Are we still live? Stream is still live. Let's just double check what's going on here. I hope my internet connection has not gone down. That would be terrible. You can check that by opening a web page. Yeah. No, we're still live. So, just had a problem there being disconnected from my own server. Not quite sure why. Could be because I'm streaming. It's probably because I'm streaming. There we are. The server's still live. Can jump back into my own server, which is still running. See, Zolomon has taken over as administrator. Not that he probably knows that yet. Pete says, and me. I don't know if you've just typed that, Pete. Does that mean you got disconnected as well? I'll see when I get in there. No. Still plenty of people in there. Someone called Chicken Duck has joined. I'll just ask. Whilst I'm waiting for someone to reply to me, so I've just asked them if anyone else has had a disconnect. I'll just show you this quickly. This is the monitor where you can actually go and watch other drivers as they're going around the track. So that is other drivers around the track at the moment. That is Zolomon in the white MCR there. If you want to have a look at Pete, Pete's out on track in the MCR coming down the hill at Donington there. Looks like he's enjoying that car a little bit more than the McLaren. Let's check out Chicken Duck, he's in blue. Pete did have a disconnect, sorry about that mate, I can't quite explain what happened there. But I have had disconnects before, that's just a general sort of internet gamey thing. Ah, now that is a different. So if we go and look at Pete's car here, that is an MCR. And if you look closely at the car, you can see that it's slightly different to this. This is a slightly different MCR there. The car just ghosted there. What that means is he's out. That's not an internet problem. He's out on his outlap. So the cars are not solid when they come out on their outlap. Once they've been out for a few laps, they are. In the race, they're always solid. We've got a good grid of cars here, though, now. So I want to get out there and set a lap time. I wish I'd have set up my gear stick properly so I could use the shifter. I'll have that set up properly for the next stream. Alright, come out on track in front of someone. Who's that? That is Pete behind me in the white MCR. You can see him in my mirror there. My old mate Pete, who is currently sitting in his rig in Cambridge. He lives on the same road that has a pub on it called the Yellow Beaconsfield, where I used to run music jams. In fact, just hit the grass there right in front of Pete. Oh, he's not going to be very pleased with me. I'll have to apologise. Yeah, I think I met Pete, actually. It was either in that pub or one round the corner from it. I think at the moment, let's just have a look. I'll get my memory up here. We've got a full server. Now I'm going to have to turn down these headphones because I'm shouting because it's so loud in my ears. We've got a full server, so there are no more slots available to join at the moment, I don't think. I think I've only got 11 or 12 spots. But if for the next session after this race, if slots become free and you want to join, you are looking for the server named TARMAC Terrorist. And please don't, if you come in here, don't drive as badly as I am, because everyone on YouTube will see you if you're anywhere near my car on track. And you really don't want to embarrass yourself as much as I am embarrassing myself. Oh! Terrible amount of understeer. Is that Pete behind me there? I think it is. And I think, yeah, it's still in my mirrors there. Oh, got very close to my back end. Gone a bit wide, but he's kept it on the track. So far, Slimsy Meat is the fastest person on track. With a 1:34, it looks like 1:34.7. Followed closely by Chicken Duck, then Keith, then Jay Belgrade. I read that right? Yes? Belgrade. Right, let's try and get a bit serious. Chicken Duck just set an even faster lap time. Is it 1:34.7? Now it's 1:34.5. So here's the man to beat, or not stand a chance against. So round we go. Keep understeering on the exit of that corner. Oh, oversteer that time. We came in on the off camber there. We moved up to 4th place. 3 seconds off of Chicken Duck, who's overtaken Slimsy Meat, but not by much. And of course, we're still in qualifying. Oh, back end stepping out under braking there, lots of opposite lock. Donington Park being quite a high speed track, lots of high speed corners, big straights. So you know, when you do get to a slightly tighter corner, it does tend to throw you off a little bit. easy to get complacent, especially on long straights like this, where you then got to be hard on the brakes for chicane, where you can really use all of the curbs. But if you go through there a little bit too fast, you've got nothing to run into, but you do run the risk of cutting those curbs too much, getting all four wheels over the white line, and then of course ending up with a track penalty. Using all the curb on the exit there of that penultimate corner before the main straight. Back end just going slightly there. We'll use that, pivot the car around, just run over a bollard marker which has been knocked off the track by someone there. Oh, sideways there. This car's got wing and a bit of downforce at the back end, but I've not added any extra wing to the default setup. And yeah, you can use, it's set up very stiff, so you can unsettle the back end, get it out of joint quite nicely in this car. Absolutely great car. I've always loved this car because of course before I had Automobilista 2, this car originally came from Automobilista 1, which, as I said earlier, Automobilista 1 was built off the ISI G Motor 2 engine, which was the core of R Factor, the original. And then this car was in that game. Then of course R Factor 2 came along, which uses a newer engine. And then because of Reese's relationship with the R Factor crowd, they then produced a pack of some of the cars from Automobilista 1 for R Factor 2. So I got used to this car in R Factor 2, and now I have it in Automobilista 2, which came out after R Factor 2. And in both platforms it's a superb car. I absolutely love it. There is Pete, that's Pete right in front of us. Can we catch him? Gradually, still in 4th position, but my times are gradually coming down. Pete using all of the curve there on the outside, as was I. Both of us slightly missing the curving on the apex. That last corner though. I'm going to try and stay in Pete's slipstream. That's a real thing as well in these racing sims. They model the slipstream, so if you can get behind another car at a certain amount of speed, usually, you know, above about 50. You're locking up there, both of us going slightly straight on. You can get in the slipstream of another car, they will punch a hole in the air for you. So you will gain speed, but you do lose downforce. That's the trade-off. So it's great to be in someone's slipstream on a straight, not so great in a corner. Pete moving up into 7th position. I'm moving down into 5th. He's now back into 8th position. Someone's just posted an even faster lap time. Pete pulling away from me there. Oh! Both of us getting slightly out of shape. Pete on the exit of that corner, me on the apex. Straight here to the chicane. So there, you've got to be careful not to cut this too much. trying not to lock the brakes. Coming down to the hairpin here. Oh, I did lock the brakes. I think Pete did as well a little bit there. We're both doing the same things. We're catching you, mate, on the corner there, but I think he's got the legs on me coming out of the exit. Oh, mate! Not a good idea to be slamming your brakes on when you've got someone right behind you. But me and Pete there, very closely matched. You can see we're a 1-2. I'm in 6th, he's right behind me in 7th. Separated by just a couple of hundredths there. Very close. I can't actually see. Oh! Oh! Lost the back end totally there. Let's get off the track in case we end up in someone's way. No one behind us. Chicken Duck's just set another. Oh, Chicken Duck is doing 133s. Right. Need to stop here. Let's just go back to the pits for a second. What are we doing? We are doing 136s. Really need to be upping my game here a bit. Gonna take a break for a moment just to check the book of faces. Right. So what we can do about these lap times. We've only got 5 minutes to go. Is there anything I can do with my setup? Yes, I can take the fuel down by a good half because we certainly don't need that much fuel. Anything else I can do here? Haven't really got time. Let's just try and get a decent lap in. So we're in 6th at the moment. So let's turn all of that off. These are the different HUDs, by the way. You can see my tyres there. Which as soon as we get out on track and we're under manual control, you'll see those come on. But we want to turn all of that off. I just want to concentrate on the track now. Much of the track as possible. Use all of those outside curves on the entries, the inside curves on the apexes, and all the curving on the outside. Maximise space and speed on the track here. Staying in 4th gear. Coming onto the straight here. Just practice at the moment because the timer doesn't start until we cross the start finish line. Let's try not to lock it up here. This tyre's tugging for grip a little bit there, but not locking up. That's the best I've taken that corner so far. Gotta keep doing it more like that. That's like I have been doing. Oh, not very good with that corner though, very wide. Car waiting to go on track there, smoking the tyres as he comes onto the track. Not quite sure who that is yet. Oh. get this corner right. Yes, happy with that. Just lost focus there, back outside left, just hit the grass, and we nearly spun all the way around. Quite surprised I held that. I don't know how I held it, but that's certainly ruined this lap time. I think we've probably got time for one more lap, and then we'll be out of time for qualifying. Double engine plane in the air there, in the sky. Oh, that car on the outside just pulling off there put me off. That's another lap ruined. Change my line. Looks like we will be starting in the position we're already in, if not lower down the field. It doesn't matter. It's always fun starting from the back of the field. Which is where I generally usually end up. I'm going to make sure I don't do the same thing I did last. I'm getting dangerously close to that grass there. Same thing that happened to me on the last lap. Right. Get this corner. At least one corner we did nicely on the last lap, so let's try and make it nice on this lap. Yes! Oh wow, look at that! Double engine jet taking off there. Ah, and there we go. Well then. That is the end of qualifying for me. Whew. So Chicken Duck and Slimsy Meat, Ickle Mike doing really well there. Pete saying in the game chat here that I drive like a 55-year-old. Is that because I'm very close to your lap times, Pete? Well, I'm very pleased. We have a full server, and pings are great at the moment. We might be able to get away with a bigger field next time I do this. Get 20 people in here. We seem to be getting away with it in terms of bandwidth. I was just wondering why it's saying waiting for host, and it's because someone else is now the host. Zola Man is now the host. But yeah, we are ready to race. So 10 laps. Let's get enough fuel in here for that. 10 laps. I'll stick in 12 just to be sure. And I'll get ready. Everyone's getting ready. Once everyone's clicked ready and start, if they click that before the 1.5 minute timer counts down, we'll be starting sooner. Whew. Right, I'm going to try and keep it together. Stay off the grass for this race. Just try and stay nice and smooth. Careful over the curbs, not trying to settle the car. I've just realised probably one of the reasons I'm not driving so well is I haven't eaten today. Really should do that at some point. So, who are we waiting for? Zamel. We're waiting for Zamel. Let's type to him. I spelt his name wrong. He's not going to be very pleased with that. Zamel. It's not, it's Zamal. Well, time has gone. We're going anyway, with or without Kamal. Zamel. Right. And we are green at Donington Park. Good start. Pleased with that. Overtaken already. But I have to remember to be careful around turn 1 because of course the race is not won at turn 1. It's usually where it all goes wrong. We've got our orange and purple car right up beside us there. Oh. We've got one right up our back end. In white. That is Mike in front of us in 3rd. Oh, Mike getting sideways there. Very sideways. Right up behind him now. Oh! Had to tap the brakes. He's going a little bit. Oh! 2nd position. Come off there, looks like he's alright. Unbelievably, I'm now in 3rd place. Behind Mike here. Not quite sure how Pete's doing. I don't know where in the field he is. Right, don't look up, don't look up. And Mike going very wide there, we're on his inside. He managed to get the exit. Better than us. And it's close between me and Mike. Won't be for long. I think from my experience of driving with him on a server at Bathurst, he's quite the faster driver. But I'm going to tell you, this is the kind of racing I love. Everyone in the same machine. I do love single class. Look at that plane taking off. Wow. Oh! Got distracted by the plane taking off there. Amazing visuals going on. Oh, using absolutely all of the curve there. Trying to keep up with Mike. Oh! And a whole lot of the curve on the apex there. Who's behind us? Dark Hon? Oh, I've cut the track too much. First of one of 3 warnings. 3 of those and I'll be looking at a drive-through penalty. Don't want that to happen. That's a lot of time to lose. That corner, as you come into it, it's flat, but then it off cambers as you go round. Hard one to get right. Oh, very wide. Just touched the grass on the outside. That could have been dangerous. Come down the hill. On the brakes early, try and... Yes! Use all of the curve on the inside and the outside, but without cutting it. One of the bollards there has been run over on the road. Mike is definitely finding his legs now because he's starting to pull away. the power to rotate the back end around without going out onto that grass. Yes. Let's have a look at our leaderboard, see where Pete is. Pete's down in 9th position. He's just moved up to 8th. Oh, I took my eye off the ball a bit there for that chicane. Slimsy Meat up in 1st. But where is our Chicken Duck? Chicken Duck is down in 5th. Chicken Duck was posting the best lap times in quality. It was really out of him and Slimsy Meat. But he's now down in 5th. So I'm assuming that was Chicken Duck, who was in 2nd or 3rd, who came off on that first lap. Ickle Mike getting away from me now to come down the hill. Ten laps of Donington, we're 4 laps in. So we're 4 laps in the first weather slot is set to sunshine, as we know. See what happens when we get into the 5th lap and the second half of the race. See what happens with the weather. See what that random weather slot will bring. If I've set it up right, that is. Sun getting quite hazy in the sky there. Oh! Bit late on the brakes, the back end just trying to come round on us there as he comes through the chicane. Braking nice and early for the hairpin. A little bit too early on the power as we come out. Around we come. Chicken Duck up into 4th place, he's right behind me. Keep my wits about me because I know he's faster than me. Can't see him in my mirrors just yet though. Come on, right on the outside of the corner there. We're following him inside, outside, using all of the curb. A lot of stuff going in the sky there with the planes. There's many vehicles in the sky as there are on this track. Okay, so I can see Chicken Duck now in my mirrors. Second time I've come through the chicane. Turned in a bit too hard whilst leaving the braking a bit too early, and that back end has tried to do the tango on me. But a great exit from that last corner there. Not too bad an exit from Chicken Duck has left the session, I don't believe. Oh! Car rejoining track there. Shocking news, Chicken Duck has left the session. He was just behind me. I don't know if his internet connection's gone down or... I can't see why he would have just left the session when he was gaining on me in 4th. Pete's now down in 10th. And he's pitted. What's going on, Pete? Managed to keep control of the back end that time around the chicane. Still keeping... There's a drone in the sky there now. Still keeping with Ickle Mike. Can't believe I am. Plane coming into land there at the airport. Plenty to look at around this track in the sky. Right. Oh! Sideways! Oh! Nearly swapped ends. Equimite getting further and further away from me. Can I power it round the corner here? Get a lot of lift off oversteer with this car. Kind of need to use the power to straighten her back out again. And then there comes the point where you can overpower the back end a little bit. And oh no, don't touch the grass. Too close to the outside there. There's a slight chance of overpowering the back end, but at a high speed you're more likely to get the back end out over at lift off oversteer, because of course these cars, not a hell of a lot of power. About 230 horsepower, but coming through very, very small wheels. Possibly 14s or 15s on this car, I'm not sure. And round we come. We are at least keeping it consistent. Once again, the second weather slot, nothing's changed weather-wise. I wonder if I did actually get it working properly. Sure, I set it to sync to race. Might have got that wrong though. It's not set to sync to race, and the weather might not be set to change until an hour from now. I need to check that when I reboot the server. Or it could be that we just had 2 races and the weather has randomly decided to stay the same at the end of each race, because we are approaching the end of the race now on lap 8 out of 10. Oh, a little bit wide on the grass there. Just struggling to grip over the outside edge of the curve there. Right. Okay, yes. Use that back end lift off oversteer to rotate the car through that corner. It's got a nice exit as we come down the hill. Another, looks like a Boeing taking off there. And are we possibly catching Ickle Mike? Burying my foot on the accelerator there, but not the kind of grunt I need to bring the back end round under power. A little bit more there at the top of the rev range, and we are definitely gaining on Ickle Mike. Only 8 of us left now. Can we get a good exit? I'm here on lap 9 of 10, coming up to the last lap. Getting a decent exit out of the corner there, but I think Ickle might got a better one. This is the last lap. And we're getting closer and closer to Ickle Mike. Oh, just clipping the plastic bollards there. Oh! Oh, sliding, big slide, huge slide, round the downhill corner there. Sliding's very impressive to watch, but it's not fast, and we've lost time on Ickle Mike there. I think the back tyres maybe just slightly wearing, not helped by a few of the slides that we've had, obviously. But we're not going to catch Ickle Mike, let's just keep it on the road, not ruin the last lap. Whew. Keep it under control through the chicane. Gotta be happy with third place, it's a podium after all. Very happy with the exit from that corner there. We are going to come across the line in third, just looking at the leaderboard. Pete's out, can't see Pete there. Slimsy Mike, Ickle Mike having a little celebrating weave across the track there. And he's stacked it into a wall to celebrate and lost his front end. We can all crash into each other at the end, it doesn't matter, we've finished the race. Woo! Got a minute to go to let the other cars cross the line there. Here comes one of them now. That is Darkcon. Ickle Mike there's front end completely missing. And that is it. Definitely want to be saving that replay for sure. Really, really enjoyed that. Love these cars. Never have a bad time in these cars. So now we are waiting for whoever took control over the host of the server from me when I got disconnected. Quite crazy that you can get disconnected from your own server and jump back in someone else's. The game has automatically let someone else take over. It's good. Keeps the server alive. But we're waiting for whoever took control of the server now. I can't see from here who's got control. Gotta wait for them to end the session. The cars going around there now are under AI control, so no one's driving anymore. Zamel got a DQ by the looks of things. Maybe that was for speeding in the pit lane or cutting the track, I'm not sure. How thin the tyres are on the front of those cars, you can actually see on Ickle Mike's car there when it comes back into shot. You can see how thin the front tyres are there. come on, man. We need you to end the session. Let's return to the main menu. And for the moment, see if we can jump back in, regain control of the server. This is the server from in-game, of course. This is not a dedicated server, so I would always have control of that. We're back in there. Keith has got control of the server. Whew, quite knackered now. Keith Tanton says, could you please upload the last video? I'll tell you what, Keith, I've saved the replay. You can actually watch that here on the YouTube channel, because this stream will be saved. But I will upload. If you can get in touch with me, come and find me on Steam, and add me as a friend on Steam. Oh, Keith Tannon is Slimsy Meat. That's weird, because Slimsy Meat's gone, and now I've got a Keith Tanton in the game, and also Keith Tanton talking to me on YouTube. Sign up to me YouTube channel. Send me a request on Steam. On Steam, I'm TARMAC TERRORIST, so it's easy to find me. And there's, of course, my little Subaru emblem that you can see in the corner of my video. And I'll send you that. I can send you the file of that replay so you can put it into your own game, or I can upload it as a video at some point. Let's just have a look. Mike now has control of the server. Right, I think what I'm going to do, folks, because I have had zero food today, I think it's time for me to take a break, as I have now been at this for 2 hours and 4 minutes. Need 2 minutes, 2 hours, 5 minutes. I'm going to take a break and come back and do some more of this later, because it's been loads of fun. Okay, Keith, I will try and get that video uploaded for you, mate. Sorry, Slimsy Meat, whose brother is Keith. Thank you everyone for watching and getting involved in Coing Racing. Gonna have another go at this a bit later on. I'm gonna have a break for some food. Mike is in control of the server, so he can carry on with that. Mike, enjoyed it. See you later. See you later, Mike. Enjoy the server. Maybe you'll even keep it going by the time I get back. Thank you, Kevin. Cheers to everyone. Cheers to Pete. Cheers to Mr. Mingo earlier for coming in and saying hello. And yeah, I'll catch you later. Happy racing.